Yo, what is up, guys? Joker bringing you another video on Diablo 4. In this video, I wanted to go over a couple of things that, in my opinion, need to be changed by Season 1, if not sooner than that, as well as some changes I would like to see going forward as well. So let's jump right into it. These aren't going to be tiered in like importance in any way. It's really just going to be me ranting of a couple things that I hope get changed going forward. So coming in at number one, I guess, is going to be inventory and stash tab. I'm going to combine these two kind of into one. We need to either get more inventory space or a separate inventory for the jewels. It just takes up, I mean, look at this. It takes up an entire stash tab almost. We need a solution for this, and especially if they're planning on introducing like 3 or 4 more gems, it's ridiculous that I have to waste one of my 4 stash tabs holding gems. And this isn't even all the gems and all of the tiers of the gems. So it would be more like a stash tab and a half that I would have to allocate just to that. On top of that, what's up with us only having 2 rows for aspects? Like, can we at least get a third row here? Show aspects some love. Coming in at letter B is going to be specking and respecking. This is going to be with the Paragon tree getting a button so we can refund all. I had to spend like 30 minutes the other day. Well, that's hyperbolic, but I way too long unspecking my other tree because I wanted to try the Storm Wolf. And now that I want to go back to pulverize, I'm going to have to respec these 150 nodes manually. That's kind of how ridiculous it is. So, some kind of respec all, which is literally right here. I don't know why it wasn't usable on both trees, as well as the wardrobe from Diablo 3, where we're able to hold a class set. We can still have it cost money. I'm totally fine with it still costing me gold, but just the quality of life to move between the two of them, where I'd be able to go and say, okay, I feel like playing Werebear. Okay, I feel like playing Storm Wolf, right? That way I don't have to waste 30, 40, 50 an hour respecking a character just to find out that I don't like it and I want to spec back. It's ridiculous. Coming in at number 3 is going to be this thing. I don't care if it's a complete overhaul or just the ability for the movement not to suck, the ability to break through barriers, the ability to ghost past mobs, the ability to have a little hop so it gets stuck on ledges less. Any of these things I would take, just improvements to the mount. Right now, the mount is it's so bad. It's barely better than walking most of the time, and that's not how it's supposed to be. Coming in at Delta is actually something that I changed my mind about. Originally, I said, yeah, it'd be cool to have us do the renown each season, and I've changed my mind. I do not support that at all anymore. As well as, what is the point of our map being covered in fog on a new character? It literally makes no sense to me. Like, you could at least give me every waypoint. It took me a while to unlock the entirety of the map, as well as with the renown. I'm not gathering it on another character like I did once. This time, I'd probably do it once, and then if I had to do it again, I just wouldn't do it. The only thing I would probably do is gather the Lilith statues for the passive buffs. Like, that's the only part of the renown that I would get. So some kind of reassurance that we're only going to have to get renown once, and or like making this easier and or better, because right now 90% of people aren't going to grind the renown. It's just too much of a drag. Coming in at letter E is going to be something else that I've changed my mind about: world bosses. At this point, I feel like there's really no reason to do a world boss after like level 75. Early on, yeah, they're really good for the resources they give, but it just doesn't scale enough in the higher levels to really make it worth even going to them. So I don't care what they do, they could give them millions and millions of gold to drop, like the gold boss, right? If he were to explode in just like millions of gold, I'm speaking like 40, 50 million gold, that would be really cool. Or give them pets, give them uniques that are actually unique to those bosses, give them higher chances for better legendaries, give them pets, mounts, skins, give them something, make there be a reason to go to a world boss. Because right now, you go to it a couple of times and then beyond that there's really not a reason. I mean, it's less rewarding than the Tree of Whispers, so there's literally no reason to go to this when you can literally just do an extra Tree of Whispers run and get twice the rewards. Coming in at number 6 is going to be Dungeons and Nightmare Dungeons. Once again, this is something that we need like a separate storage space for because I don't want to have to choose between having potions in my inventory or having maps. That's just stupid. But besides that, making these actually rewarding, right? Because right now there's a lot of risk, but there's literally no reward. I don't care if this is buffing the EXP that it gives the glyphs or just higher drop rates, but it is supposed to be the end game system. Think of it like if you went into red maps in PoE and you're juicing hardcore and you don't even get chaos to drop, let alone divines and additional things, right? It's kind of that scenario where you're pushing into that higher end game and you're just not being rewarded for it. So it feels bad. On top of the fact that right now the meta is to run like one of two specific dungeons for the best EXP, I want to see some kind of change to the dungeons right now. And I don't just mean the continuous nerfs, that doesn't fix anything. I want to see cooler affixes on this where it has a chance of rolling more than one positive affix. I don't know why you decided to be like, oh yeah, let's give them one positive and multiple negatives. Let us re-roll this like you can re-roll a map in PoE and get a chance of like six good affixes, and it's just a super rewarding dungeon. Like that would be really, really cool in my opinion. But it's just a missed opportunity. The fact that it just makes the dungeon harder for the sake of making the dungeon harder. Honestly, I lost track of what letter and or number I'm supposed to be on right now. I was making a whole joke thing and yeah, it got too complicated. So now it's not even funny anymore. But give me your opinions down in the comments. Do you think that these things should happen and or shouldn't happen? What are some changes that you think could be done? Like the more ideas that we can put out there, hopefully it gets around, it picks up traction, and some of them actually have the potential of getting into the game. But besides that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with this and future videos. I'm obviously going to be playing season one since I already have 200 hours. I want to see what season one looks like. So, besides that, uh, take care.